It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Tennessee Titans and the Cleveland Browns on Thursday night primetime.
With potential whiteout conditions looming in our future, we are getting close to football at snowy Huntington Bank Field here in downtown Cleveland. Welcome again, one and all. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Brandon Garden on hand alongside Charles Davis. And yes, the storyline here, the weather. Snow and more of it expected as this game continues. So how will that impact how this one goes?
Can these teams ignore the distraction and the strangeness of playing in a snow game? Because it actually affects the crowd as well. That big roar you get is often muffled when there's a snow game. And the second part, what's the footwear you got on? Does that fit the turf you're playing on? And how will it handle as things get a little bit slick?
Joey Sly, the kicker, stands ready. And off we go from Cleveland. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here come the Browns for their first drive on offense. They'll be led out by the former Colorado Buffalo, their rookie quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. A quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
They will start this drive with Ford. And right away, they're going to stack him up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's second down now.
On that play, it was the defensive front that won the battle. They out-leveraged the offensive line, got into the backfield, and held them to no gain.
Here's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Sanders. Got an open man. That's David Njoku, the tight end. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Partner, it took a while for him to lock onto a receiver, and he finally found his man coming left to right across the formation. But by the time he got the ball to him, not much of a chance to turn upfield and make anything out of it.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. Operating from the gun, Sanders. This one downfield for Tillman. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
And that might have been a situation where even though you don't hit on the deep throw, you at least put in the defender's minds early in the game that we're going to press the ball deep against your secondary. And that can have a ripple effect on how they function throughout.
On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. Yeah, that's a 48-yard punt with a coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And it'll be Titan football. So the Titans set to go to work for the first time. And they will be led out by the youngster, the rookie, their QB.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
Throwing to start the drive. Moore. Man open. That's Calvin Ridley. And a good stiff arm there before he's brought down on a nice little gain. So the completion good for 7 there. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
2nd and 3. That's complete. It's Josh Wiley. That one a first down pickup of 8.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Off the bootleg. Ward to the right side and complete to Jefferson. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be second down. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. Here's Ward. Off play action. Open man downfield is Ridley. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's a gain of 34.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now as they're down to the 29-yard line. Again, he'll drop to throw. Letting one go deep for the end zone. And a flag comes out as that is batted down and incomplete. But I think there was early contact. Let's check the call. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but the flag comes out for interference.
And now you're set up right on the doorstep of the goal line. 1 yard away changes what your play calls are going to be.
Pollard is not going to get in. In fact, he'll lose a couple of yards back to the 3. A loss of 2 there, second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, second and goal. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown. Calvin Ridley from 3 yards out. And the Titans will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. Those are the drives that prove a lot. You got a rookie quarterback, Charles. You're on the road, takes him down, throws the touchdown pass.
And in a game like this, with, as you described, a rookie quarterback, the team usually says, okay, we got to take care of this guy. We got to protect him. But when he goes out and plays like this on the first drive on the road, he doesn't have to say, I'm here to be your leader. They just need to follow him.
You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And it's now a 7-0 game. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That too.
Ball on the 30 now. Here's second down and 7. Again, they turn to Ford, and they get him behind the line, so that short gain on first down quickly negated. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Here's Sanders from the gun on third down. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Browns first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. On to the second from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. The handoff to Ford up the middle. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Off the play fake. Sanders. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
3rd and 5. Back to throw. Sanders. Yeah, that one's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
On 4th down, on is Corey Bojorquez to punt. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. Out is their quarterback with his offense to take over once more. He connected on all 5 of his throws on that opening drive and finished it with a touchdown pass as they begin here 1st and 10. In motion, the tight end. Now Ward throwing to start the drive. Complete. Jefferson the target. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down. 2 minutes gone by, 2nd quarter. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play. Now 2nd and 5. Looking to throw. Moore.
He'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that is incomplete.
Now that's a good bounce back after giving up a touchdown on the opening drive. Just 1 1st down permitted and then out. Obviously no loss of confidence with that defense, and now they get to turn it back to their offense.
So on 4th down, here's Johnny Hecker to punt it away. DeAndre Carter back deep. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Browns will take over 1st and 10. Heading out is the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And they run the option on 2nd down. He has enough for the first down, and the keeper a gain of 6.
And this is one of those plays that if you can use it to keep the chains moving, it's a good play. And not only that, it tends to tamp down the pass rushers because they have to recognize this play and stay at home. The quarterback uses it well. Read option, keeps it, and picks up a first down with some nice running.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And this is incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
This is Ford. And he's up over midfield and down into Tennessee territory. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting them to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 30. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18.
Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Sanders. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Cedric Tillman, 30 yards. And the Browns are an extra point away from drawing level. He put quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. Of course, we knew that he had the strong arm.
That part was easy. You could see that throughout his college career. But what you want to know about a rookie is when the pressure's on, can you throw with touch? He just did right there. And, boy, it was pretty.
Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. It's up and good, and we're tied at 7 here in quarter number 2. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Titans offense now, they work their way back onto the field. Tie ball game, still a little more than a minute to go in the half. The question, can they put something together here, try to take that lead into intermission?
I would have to think that would be the goal for sure. I don't think you sit on anything here. Here's your opportunity. Push it downfield. As you mentioned, it's a tie game. So minus a disaster on your part, you've got that in your back pocket. Go ahead and try and get some points and feel great going into the half.
And the tight end goes in motion left. To throw is Ward. Throwing to start the drive. Over the middle, that's caught by Ridley. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Back to throw now on first down. Again to Calvin Ridley, and he's got it once more. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. They go right back to him for 20 and a first.
Well, he's been a busy man in this first half. They've targeted him quite a bit, including both plays here to start this drive. And until that defense starts reacting a little better, they may just keep going back to him.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Operating from the gun. Ward. Escaping the pressure right. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. This one brought in by Jefferson. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a first and goal.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit them, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. From the 2 now, second and goal. Operating from the gun. Ward. And it's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. Tyler Lockett in the final seconds of the first half. And the Titans have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. That is a near-perfect end-of-half drive right there.
And we've seen that many times from the best in the league. But do you really expect to see it done that well by a rookie? And how about the timing? Finishing it almost near the zeros, as you said, right at the end of the half. Great momentum to carry into the locker room.
Extra point by Sly is up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Maybe time for one play on offense. 7 seconds to go in the half as the kick is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Browns drive about to get started. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything. Throw left side, he's got Tillman. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. Sanders, a final shot before break. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we reach halftime here with the visiting Titans taking the lead into intermission. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. The lake effect snow set to continue for the second half of action as we are back underway. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Titans offense and receiver Calvin Ridley getting ready for this next possession. And he was pretty much unguardable in that first half. You see the numbers there as they try to add to him here in this third quarter. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Throw here taken in by Wiley, the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That's a first down pickup for Tennessee on a gain of 10.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch, and then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Throw to the right, caught by Okonkwo. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, a 22. I love that play, because in the snow you think run, run, run. Big passing play there.
And defenders hate it, especially in open space, because trying to come under control, break down, and make a tackle in the open field, difficult in normal conditions. In these conditions, almost impossible.
Short throw taken in by Okonkwo. So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll make it second down. So a decent gain there, but not their fourth consecutive first down like they had on the first 3 plays.
You sound almost disappointed there. You want to fire the offensive coordinator on that one or what?
They'd gotten into a rhythm. I thought they were just going to keep going.
Well, almost a win for the defense, but if that's your win, you're not doing very well right now.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. They'll look to throw again. He's got his target. That's complete. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
They'll run with Pollard. And a little bit of space there takes it inside the 5 to the 3. Give him 4 on the carry there. It's 2nd and goal.
It's largely been the air attack that's gotten them down here, but now's where you start to lean on that running game. That's a good pickup there on 1st and goal.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Pollard again. And he gets in. Touchdown, Tennessee. Tony Pollard, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Titans take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Sly on for the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Here's the Browns now. They get set for their first possession of the third quarter. Well, the opposition laid down the challenge, an opening drive touchdown here to start the second half. And, Charles, now you feel like this group needs to get an answer because this all of a sudden is a 2-score game.
Yeah, you're right about that. What was a small, manageable spread to overcome? A little bit more daunting now. I think you're exactly right. Pressure is on because you don't want them getting the ball back with a chance to really extend this lead out.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he's going to be down at the 35. Gain of 7.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
2nd down and 3. Off play action. Sanders. He's got Njoku, his big tight end. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Looking to throw. Sanders. Throw right side is going to be caught by Judy. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that will bring up 2nd down. They run with Ford. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we're back now here in Cleveland. It's the Browns with a deficit. They're trailing, but with the football here to start the 4th. Back to throw. Sanders. This is the tight end, Njoku. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
And there wasn't much room for the big tight end to do much after the catch. But at least he was able to pick up a solid gain to help his offense continue to move in the right direction.
From the 23, here's 2nd and 2. That's caught left side by Judy. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Sanders now operating from the gun. He's got it. And the Browns are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Back to throw again. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
Ford is into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a 1-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
On is Hopkins now for the extra point. It's up and good. This becomes a 21-14 ball game now. That time a 9-play drive, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Titans offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And as we show you some of the highlights from earlier, he has been instrumental in getting his guys the lead as he looks to finish strong and close this one out. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. 1st down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. That'll give them 8 that time, and they'll be left with 2nd and a couple.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense. And this is exactly what you're looking to do offensively. If you can start stringing some runs together like this, you'll keep churning out 1st downs, and that's going to put you in a great position to carry this one home.
1st down, and it's Pollard again. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 23 yards on the pickup there and a 1st.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Here's Pollard again. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. Ward now from the gun on third down.
He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're looking at a fourth down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to perhaps salt this one away. And he missed it. It's no good. And this will remain a one-touchdown game. Things just got interesting. They tried for the long field goal there to salt this one away. They don't get it, and now a little time for the other guys to mount a late drive.
Well, they thought their kicker would put it through the post and finish this one off. I'm sure they discussed pooch punting it and letting their defense take over. Well, the defense now has to make it stand up, but they didn't get the best field position because the ball comes back to the line of scrimmage.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
He's back to throw. And his throw here is incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Back to throw.
He'll get that one to Carter complete.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here.
He'll look to throw. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now.
Back to throw.
Gets this over the middle to Tillman.
Brandon, it's okay what they're doing right now. Still able to work the middle of the field, but you know sooner or later they're going to have to stop the clock.
Well, the elements, the crowd, the situation, this is NFL football at its best. Here's 3rd down. That is caught.
And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
Here's 1st and goal.
They'll look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. They took their shot for the end zone, almost cost him.
And he made the right play there, knocking it away. But, boy, it looked like he had a chance to come down with the football. And if he does that, this thing is over. Instead, he leaves them out there with another chance.
They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's 2nd and goal now. On the ground, it's Ford. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak, not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
And it's caught. It's a touchdown. So they rally here in the final minute, and they're an extra point away from tying this game. There was a lot of zip on that pass, and baseball might have called that a frozen rope.
I like it when you bring the diamond into the game. I'm going back to the gridiron. Had some heat on that bad boy. Sometimes you throw a touchdown pass, and sometimes
you throw, what, a touchdown strike?
There you go. That's my man, in concert.
And now the decision is to go for 2. A gutsy call, and this, in effect, is your ball game right here. They're going to try and run for it, and he will not get into the end zone. The defense makes the stop of the game on the 2-point try, and they might just get out of here with a win after all. So with an even 30 seconds to go, everything will come down to this onside kick. Oh, and did the Browns get it? I think so, yes. A field goal will do it for them. They got the onside kick that they needed here. We'll see if they can do the rest.
Some teams are just not comfortable waiting to see what happens. Some teams like to force the action. That's exactly what we saw with this onside kick.
Here's 1st and 10.
Throwing to start the drive. Sanders.
Completes to Njoku.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
This offense cannot stop the clock now. No timeouts remaining as they come up here 1st down.
And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. They got exactly what they wanted there. Out route, catch, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
And I have to criticize defense here because you know the situation. You want to keep them in bounds and have the clock run. So I'm sitting on the outside portion of the field and not letting them throw an out route. Throw anything inside and I'll make the tackle. An out route? That's not the way you're supposed to play it.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to almost certainly win the football game. Hopkins' kick is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. Nothing easy about that one in these elements in the snow, but he's able to put it home in what looks to be the game winner.
And you know, I had problems with the footing just walking from the bus to the stadium. I can't imagine being called to kicking this stuff with the game on the line. But he appeared to have zero issues whatsoever.
Following the made field goal for 3, Hopkins now to kick it off. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25.
This is 1st and 10.
Throwing to start the drive. Moore. This complete to Lockett. Now Tennessee going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game.
Here comes 2nd down.
Looking to throw. Ward.
Oh, that is incomplete. The dog pound barking as loud as they can here. 3rd down.
Back to throw. Ward. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over.
A fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. It's a win for the Browns, and they're happy in the dog pound as we say so long from Cleveland.